ABC News says Haiti's most notorious gang leader plots its future amid rebellion. Jimmy Cherizier, is that how you pronounce it? Cherizier?
Yes.
Who is known as Barbecue, spoke with ABC News. Really? The most prominent leader behind the ongoing armed rebellion in Haiti has a simple message for the country's leader. Acting Prime Minister Ariel Henry stepped down and the violence ends, at least temporarily. Oh, okay, well, temporarily. Now, look, it's really, really crazy there. I'm terrified for the people who live there. It's getting really bad with these gangs. This guy, Barbecue, they call him, has been seen in a viral video eating people. And it's important you know, he is not a sustenance cannibal. He is not eating people because he's hungry. He's eating them to scare you. That's
fear tactic cannibalism.
It is. He kills people, burns them alive, and then eats parts of their flesh and makes people, and so he can show people and they're terrified of him. We have this from the Hindustan Times, because here's the crazy thing. Most news outlets pulled the story. It was wild. Throughout the weekend, cannibal gangs left and right in Haiti. And then this morning, all of those stories are gone. And it's weird. But Hindustan Times, which is NewsGuard certified, I might add, you know, we're very careful here, says, does viral video show Haitian gang eating human body parts? Yes. The important thing to understand is that the video that's going around was 2 years old. It was not related to what's going on literally today with right now, but it is part of the same conflict. For the past several years, Haiti has been in absolute disarray. Now, here's where the fun kicks in. You may be saying, I don't know what you're talking about. Haiti is not America. Why do we care? Well, first of all, I think the estimates are like 100,000 Haitian migrants have been allowed in unvetted through the southern border. So there is concern there. There are 700,000 Haitian refugees. And this makes sense because they're literally fleeing a guy named Barbecue who eats people. So like you're going to find refugees, right? But let me get into the politics of it so you can understand why we're talking about Haiti. If you go back in time to 2018, NBC News reported Trump referred to Haiti and African nations as ish-hole countries. We're not swearing. That's what we don't swear here. But, you know, you get the point. Trump referred to African countries, Haiti and El Salvador, as ish-hole nations during a meeting Thursday and asked why the U.S. can't have more immigrants from Norway. I will just answer that real quick because Norway's not so bad. And sure, we can have more immigrants from Norway, but there's not that many people who want to leave. Here's where we kick into high gear. We have this tweet from End Wokeness. Thinking about when Trump called Haiti an ish-hole country, and the propaganda regime pretended it's the best place on earth. Here, let's pull up. Here's Conan O'Brien's tweet. Show your support for the people of Haiti with a Haiti is great already t-shirt. Here's why it's so messed up. This was January 30th, 2018, when Conan O'Brien did this. Conan O'Brien, January 21st, 2018, posted a photo from Haiti at a heavily armed, secure resort. At this time, the conflict had already begun. There had already been a massacre and there was gang conflict and murder, and it was getting worse. And everyone knew this. And that's why I imagine Trump got briefed on this and said, what an ish-hole. And then what happens? Bill Maher, Conan O'Brien, Susan Sarandon, and I doubt they're the only ones, wearing t-shirts that say, Haiti is great already. Trump was right when he criticized that country. He was right to question whether or not we should allow people from Haiti into the United States, considering the degree of violence. And more importantly, they mentioned that he called El Salvador an ish-hole nation. Well, we have this from NPR. El Salvador's popular but authoritarian president declares election victory. When El Salvador elected Nayib Bukele, you had these two countries. Haiti, gang violence. You see where it is now. El Salvador, gang violence, very dangerous, lots of murder. Nayib Bukele declared a state of emergency and began arresting gang members and gang leaders, shutting down gang activity. And the media in the United States attacked him. They called him authoritarian. They called him a despot. They said Trump likes dictators. El Salvador today is. Let me say this. They say. Let me read what they say. Nayib Bukele has surprised no one by claiming a landslide victory in Sunday's presidential election. The contest was dominated by debate over this trade-off between national security and democracy. They say Nayib Bukele declared victory. He's hugely popular in Latin America because of his crackdown on gangs. This country, according to Emily Green, Bukele has transformed El Salvador. Using a repressive state of emergency, Bukele has eviscerated the country's powerful street gangs. El Salvador is now ranks among the safest in the Western Hemisphere, a remarkable feat for a country that only recently was one of the world's most violent. Here's the big takeaway You know, there's an extended intro because the segment is so important in my opinion. While many people, again, are probably like, I don't care about El Salvador. I don't care about Haiti. We were told by Trump, these two countries are not good in a manner of speaking. And we don't know that he actually said it. We got Nayib Bukele's model. We're going to arrest the gangs. We're going to shut down the criminals. We're going to lock them all up. And the corporate press in America attacked this man for it. They said Haiti was great already. Now I ask you, which country do you want to live in? Because we very much are facing that question this year in November. Support the uniparty establishment elites who would have you living in Haiti, where a cannibal eats people, or you can support Donald Trump, who's more aligned with the likes of Nayib Bukele, who'll crack down on the criminals, the gangs, and let you live peacefully so you can raise your family, so you can live well and live responsibly. Which country do you guys want to live in?
I just want to say that if you go back and look at that picture of Conan O'Brien in Haiti, that was taken directly after eating a meal prepared by the man named Barbecue. And
that's why I'm so happy.
If you think that you might not care about Haiti, but if you think that the Clintons are evil, degenerate thugs, I would really look into Haiti and what they've done to that place. Because, in my opinion, I think Haiti should be added to the Clinton list of victims. If you go back and look at what Bill Clinton did with the rice and destroying the rice crops in Haiti, he apologized for that. That's on video. You can look it up. You know, like the earthquake happened that we all know about. Who took care of the earthquake? The Clinton Foundation. What happened with the trailers that the Clinton Foundation sent? They were filled with dangerous amounts of formaldehyde. The same dangerous formaldehyde-filled trailers that were sent to the victims after Hurricane Katrina. And then Hillary went down there and helped get someone elected. And then people in Haiti said, these are fraudulent votes. They said there's thousands and thousands of zombie votes, they were calling it. So yeah, and this is my other favorite part. Bill Clinton, when he was rebuilding Haiti, called it building back better. So yeah, maybe we're there almost.
Omen of good times.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about Haiti is this is very selective praise. Like when people are saying, hey, the violence is bad. Hey, indulgence, cannibalism, not so good. People are like, how could you say this to them? But when they had a completely zero COVID vaccination rate, which all the progressives I knew were like, you must get vaccinated. No one was like, Haiti, what are you doing? I mean, Haiti's been in chaos for a long time. Let's never forget when their prime minister was assassinated a few years ago, 2021. There was a time when two people had declared themselves the new leader of Haiti and no one really knew. And I guess Ariel Henry won out ultimately. But it's not a place that I would want to live. And it's so bad that I feel like global elites keep Haiti around to say, look, things could always be worse. We could be Haiti, which is...
Look what we did to Haiti. Don't you not like this?
Right. It's like, you think it's bad here, but in Haiti, there are street cannibals who don't need it. They're not like old-timey sailors lost at sea acting out of desperation. This guy's like, I'm making a point. My name is Barbecue. I am here to roast my victims.
I've been thinking about Barbecue a lot today because he's 47 and he must have been probably in early 30s when the earthquake happened. You know, so he's inherited this world getting older. And now he's like, I'm just taking over. Former police officer. I own this place now.
I'm sorry, though, but like when you are eating people, you're the bad guy.
Oh, he's a bad guy for sure. I'm not saying he's a good guy. I'm saying that this is what happens.
I'm not saying you're saying, but like in his mind, you know.
In his mind, he's a helper. He's helping out.
That's right.
And I'm going to scare you people from coming here.
But he's not acting solo, right? Like he's leading a gang of other people who are like, this Barbecue guy's making some good points over here.
He's funded by Hillary
Clinton. That's how bad their government is, where they're like, look, maybe if we just hang out with Barbecue for a while.
The U.S. Marines went in to evacuate the embassy. Are we going to start airdropping food into Haiti?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they already have people, so Barbecue's fine.
No, this is the point. Haiti has collapsed. They're not going to be getting food, and nothing's going to come in.
Yeah.
If we do not send food in, if external food is not sent to Haiti, cannibalism will become sustenance cannibalism.
Weren't they trying to get Kenya, the government of Kenya, involved? I think the U.S. government was sending a lot of money. I think another big point to be made here, though, is I don't know who, maybe one of you guys know where the quote originates from, but the idea that decline is a choice. And I think between El Salvador and Haiti, I think that really proves it to us that decline is a choice in the left. They want us to, I mean, that's part of the wokeism idea, I believe, at least in my mind, is to get us psyoped into believing that you know, as our quality of life continues to drop, especially economically, but in other ways as well, especially with what we can and can't say, that they want us to just think, well, this is just the way the world is, just accept it. And we're actually making these choices to save the environment, to end racism, whatever these decisions are, whatever they say. Oh, go ahead.
What is the likelihood that, let's say Trump gets elected, and then he says the far left extremists and the gangs, you're being arrested? What's the likelihood that people in this country would defend those individuals?
The thing is, he could say it. He might tweet it if he goes back on X. So he'd probably say it on Truth Social. But I just don't think it could physically actually happen, as much as I'd want it to. One thing in Haiti that these criminal gangs are doing is they're opening up all the prisons, right? And they're sending all the prisoners out. Very, very dangerous because anarcho-tyranny.
Yeah,
exactly.
At the beginning of COVID, we did the same thing.
Because the idea of anarcho-tyranny, right? When you destroy everything through anarchy for enemies of the regime or perceived enemies, then for friends of the regime, then you get tyranny for the supposed enemies, us. So you break everything first. And when everything's so broken, you can't just live in the rubble. You got to rebuild somehow. And oh, look, the left has positioned themselves to rebuild it all.
You have to destroy everything to build back.
In New York, they're deploying the National Guard into the subway after they chose to release these criminals without bail. And they went, oh, geez, look at all the crime. And here's another point in this story. I will stress this again because you must repeat this to your friends in casual conversation politely. Trump said Haiti and El Salvador were bad. Allegedly. El Salvador says it's time to arrest gangs. Haiti says whatever. Liberals told you Haiti was fine. And now El Salvador, and they criticized El Salvador, and look which country is better. In New York, they deploy the National Guard because the crime has gotten so bad. A story the other day, a woman was shoved in front of a train and her legs were severed.
Right.
The guy had schizophrenia. He was a criminal. He was a known criminal. He had been in prison earlier for stabbing a 3-year-old. He was on parole. He was arguing with his girlfriend and he shoved her in front of the train. When we were talking about the escalation of crime in New York last year, all of these corporate press outlets ran stories saying there is no crime in New York. They're lying. So how is it now that the governor has called in the National Guard? I will say this again. Everything they are telling you is a lie to destroy your life. As Alex Jones put it, they are laying bear traps, telling you where they are, and if you step in it, it's your fault. We knew New York had crime because it was in the news. We saw the videos. People, I think 24 people in 1 year shoved in front of trains. And, you know, maybe 24 is not a lot for a town of 10 million using the subways. But there was other crimes. There was that college girl who got beaten to death or whatever. Was it where she stabbed in near Columbia, I believe. We knew the crime was bad. And while we were saying this crime is out of hand, the corporate press was saying there's no crime wave. Republicans are lying. Several months later, the governor says, state of emergency. I need the National Guard because crime is so bad. They were lying. Yeah. That's the world that we're living in right now. They lie about it all and they want to burn this country down.
And they're willing to sacrifice you. I mean, ultimately, they don't want there to be crime because they want their progressive policies to seem like they're working, right? This was the case with Jordan Neely, who Daniel Penny, held down on the subway. He had a history of being arrested. He had been in state foster care. He had documented mental health issues. He had broken a 67-year-old woman's jaw on a subway platform. He was known to the state, and also when they were like, please come to rehab, come to mental health counseling, he was like, no thanks, I'm just going to stand over here and commit more crimes. I mean, their systems, their policies failed, and they let the innocent people around this dangerous person pay the price. I'm not saying he didn't have his own demons. I'm just saying their policies of we're offering state-funded help didn't work over again.
We are very close to the rise of vigilantes. I mean, I wouldn't, superhero comics is silly. And we had, was it Phoenix Jones in the Pacific Northwest 10 years ago or whatever? And that was silly. But now crime's gotten so bad, what's going to happen is, I want you to imagine this scenario. Guy in a subway screaming he's going to kill people. Dude sitting in the back thinks, I got to do something about this. Oh, wait. I'll go to prison if I try to stop this guy. So he takes his shirt, takes it off, folds it to make a ninja mask, runs up, beats the crap out of the violent guy to save the passengers, subdues the guy, and then when the doors open, flees. And no one saw his face and knows what his name is. The passengers say, this man saved our lives. News reports all across city, masked vigilante stops violent man in subway. Protesters get angry and say, we can't allow this. They call for justice, but no one knows who the guy is. So there's no arrest and no one knows anything about what happened. Now imagine what actually happened. Penny said, I'm going to save these people and stop this guy. And everyone saw his face and he waited to give a statement and now he's going to go to prison. So with that happening, I fear we're dangerously close to the point where as crime grows in these cities and criminal aliens, for instance, the Lake and Riley stuff, you will just get people who say, first, I think it'll be more accidental. A guy sees someone robbing a store at gunpoint. And so he just grabs a ski mask from his car, puts it on, and then cracks the guy over the head. The Home Depot video where I don't know if you guys saw this. Some dude's got a shopping cart full of power tools and they're yelling at him, knock him over, and they beat the crap out of him. And they're like, because of you, it's costing more for us. Okay, well, those guys, we talked about this when it happened. We were like, those guys might go to prison because the cops are going to be like, well, you assaulted a guy. You didn't know, how were you? You didn't know that he was a criminal. So what's going to happen next? People are going to put on masks. And then don't be surprised if after a few months of this, someone literally puts on a Spider-Man mask. Not to run around and be Spider-Man, but it's because it's a mask. And then you'll get the New York City Spider-Man vigilante. Here's the thing. If cops aren't enforcing any of the laws, they ain't going to enforce the laws against these guys either. It's just going to descend into vigilantism, chaos, which will likely result in the emergence of gangs of some sort.
And the tyrants that are running the country right now are going to say that those are the real bad guys. The vigilantes are the actual bad ones. You need to watch out for those people, not the mostly peaceful murderers.
But this is why they'll do it. Look, Jordan Neely in the subway was threatening to kill people. Mm-hmm. He's the bad guy. Daniel Penny subdued him, and in the process, Neely died. Right. Now they're trying to put Penny in prison. But the people there say he saved their lives. So they will come out and they'll be like, these vigilantes are wrong, and the people will clap and cheer. You guys remember the subway vigilante? It was the 80s, right? In New York?
Yeah.
The crime was so high. Some guy had a gun. He claims these dudes were trying to rob him, and he shot him. And then I guess, they claimed they weren't robbing him. They were panhandling or something like that. And he panicked and overreacted. I think they were probably robbing him. I don't know. I think it was before I was born. But it was huge news. The subway vigilante. And people in New York were cheering for it. So we're at the point now where I think the reason why people will start wearing masks and engaging in vigilante violence is because some crazed guy will go in and commit a crime somewhere. And when the vigilante stops him, far left activists will say he murdered this innocent man. They'll say this poor man was sick. That's why he was threatening to kill people. That's what they said about Neil. He was sick. Mm-hmm. He didn't deserve to die.
And with Penny, he spoke to the police. He gave a statement. The police released him. Then there was this outrage. They blocked the subway platforms. They marched across the bridge. And suddenly they had to get Penny. Penny surrendered himself to the police because there had been this outrage where the New York state government was suddenly like, no, we are going to press charges against him because you guys are mad about it.
And imagine if you can take a t-shirt and fold it into a ninja mask. Have you ever seen how to do that? They're fun. It's fun. Imagine if he did that instead. And then when the train came to a stop, he just fled. The activists would scream. There was a murder. Everyone would say, wow, I wonder what happened. And that would be the end of it. And Penny would be sitting in his living room, smoking a cigar and drinking a beer with a bowl of nachos in front of him, not thinking anything. I don't want this to go this way. It shouldn't, but that's where we're going because cops are siding with the bad guys.
You say the subway vigilante was in the early 80s that you were referencing earlier?
I think I can check it out.
Because that's interesting, just thinking of how the city was in the 70s. It was total chaos. It was on fire all the
1984. I was not even alive.
So like it was in a bad spot. And honestly, when COVID started, I started thinking of what could happen with the economy because my grandfather was a cop in the city in the 70s. And
Bernie Getz.
Oh, yeah. His stories were crazy. He would talk about just corpses every day. On my dad's side of the family, they were all firefighters in the city. And then Berkowitz was happening. So just thinking of that and like the chaos a city descends into for someone like that to emerge. And then that makes sense if it's the early 80s after the 70s happens. And we're going
Bernard Getz. They called him Bernie Getz. I remember seeing, I think Seinfeld did a parody of it. I wasn't alive when it happened, so...
What year is it?
1984.
Oh, yes, before.
Yeah.
I think it says a lot also about our culture. It's something I noticed with like the first few rounds of BLM in 2014, 2015. Then, of course, what we saw with the BLM/Antifa riots of 2020 that continued into 2021. And then the cases that have come out since. That it seems that the public, by and large, so I am just generalizing here. I don't know specific numbers, but it seems that people are more, and I think this kind of goes back to a social illness that we have, a societal illness, because I'm a very deep social conservative, that it's easier to get people to side with criminals than it is to get them to side with someone who is trying to be heroic, even if they didn't go about it in the right way, but is at least trying to do what they think at that moment is the best for everyone, regardless of what happens to them. And I just think because there's a severe lack of God and morals in this nation, a lot of people don't live their lives quite well. How many times have we been burned by people who've stabbed us in the back and we just realize like, wow, I thought we were all supposed to be adults here. And you just realize a lot of people don't really conduct themselves with a lot of integrity. So in my opinion, I think a lot of people will read the news and they'll see someone like George Floyd or whoever, and their heart goes out more to that person because they can identify more saying, well, they died living for themselves, basically. Whereas someone who tries to do the right thing, whether it's a cop or someone who's trying to act as a vigilante or however you want to term it, the idea of self-sacrifice and doing for others, I think that's become a foreign word for many people. It's kind of become an alien word, and it just doesn't make sense in so many movies, right? The guy who's trying to do the right thing or the girl who's trying to do the right thing secretly in the end is actually an evil person. And you thought they were the nice preacher, but really they had some deep, dark, they beat their wife at night, that type idea. So I wonder if we're kind of primed in that way. And I think that that's quite dangerous. That I feel like that's what comes first to people's mind when they see a story like Daniel Penny, for example. Well, what was his motives? Like, it can't be that he tried to help. There has to be something.
It can't be that he saw that people were in danger and decided
exactly.
he had to be the one to do something. Yeah. I think you're right. I think people are. There is a huge portion of the population that's increasingly self-serving, and so therefore they expect everyone around them to be self-serving. Yeah, yep. And so they can't see the idea of like, this is just the right thing to do, or this is my altruistic activity. There has to be some other motive there because they have their own motives.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on the nihilism. I think there's widespread nihilism and godlessness.
And right before the Russian Revolution, what happened? Nihilism set in heavy.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.